Hello and welcome to Tales from the Backlog. I am Steve Boshear and I will be your judge for the evening. Oh, let's do our introductions. Why don't you give us your player name and character names, please? Starting with Tony.
All right, I am Tony, and I will be playing Aditu, an elf, and Benebik, a dwarf.
And Mia.
Yes, hi, I'm Mia. I will be playing Rory Oakhill. She is a halfling, dual wielder of daggers, and also as Kebinal Peldavi, who is a wizard. Look forward to him being corrupted by the magic that he uses, so
Yes.
should be fun.
Yes. Corruption.
Yes, elves also have innate magic. I just wasn't sure how to categorize that, so I might be getting corrupted as well. So, knock on wood.
I am Matt. I will be playing as Justin, cleric, and as Sargento II, a warrior.
Yes, Sargento the Second. We will get into those backstories in a few minutes. Hello to Jason in the chat and to anyone else who is watching and may not be in the chat yet. We appreciate your viewership. If you have never watched our stream before, here's the rundown. We on Monday nights we have a rotating cast of players and a rotating cast of games. This is our third of 3 in Dungeon Crawl Classics, but you haven't missed anything because in session 2 there was a TPK. Yes, our funnel adventure at level 0 managed to kill 18 player characters, and so we are starting fresh tonight at level 1. This is a high death rate sort of game, and that's why everyone's playing 2 characters because they won't be by the end. But hopefully we make it to the end. Hopefully this isn't an hour-long stream. But yes, so this is our third session of this game. Next week we have a different group of players, and Jason, who I just said hi to in the chat, is going to be GMing Monster of the Week for us. Following that, we have on the schedule Survive the Night, GM'd by its creator, Brian Crenshaw, but we may be changing that up a bit depending on scheduling issues, so we'll see. Yeah, every Monday we play a different game. Occasionally we run one for 2 to 3 weeks. On Fridays, I DM a 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons game that is ongoing. We're about to have episode 69 this week. Nice. And oh gosh, what's going on over there? There was a dragon. People got hurt. It was bad. So yeah, check us out there. We're at level 11. Last I checked. I should know. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it for our announcements. I feel like I usually have more, but there you go. So, Dungeon Crawl Classics. We are playing a new adventure this week, new to us anyway. It's called Doom of the Savage Kings. Previous couple of weeks I had a bunch of artwork ready to throw up on screen, but I did not have time to prepare that today, so you'll just have to listen to me describe it. So, who has some character backstories to share? I know Sargento the Second's got one. I don't know about the rest of you guys.
Yeah, so I can start. Sargento II is a cheesemaker, not unlike Sargento I. He heard that Sargento had gone on an adventure, a quest, but was never heard from again. So, assuming that he was successful in his quest and just went on to live a better life of adventure, he has also sought the glory and is looking to make, I'd say, a name for himself, but in honor of Sargento, he took the name Sargento and started an order, the Order of Sergeant Sargento. He used to be named Scott, but Scott's kind of a dorky name, so he's changed it.
Wait, Matt. You've known a guy named Scott for like 15 years, and you always make fun of his name. Is that right?
Yeah, so it's Scott's a Dork is a song, so I'm always one to shoot that out.
I don't know anyone named Scott, but you have been making fun of the name Scott for almost as long as I've known you.
Yeah,
Okay.
Scott's a Dork.
All right. Well, that's on Matt, and the opinions of Matt do not represent Shadows of Arconia.
They do now.
All right. Anybody else have any interesting backstory? It doesn't have to be an 8-pager. Just anything to tell us about your characters.
Well, Ferrari is formerly basically a wanderer. She's got a little hex doll that she keeps close to her. And Kebinal, he began his career basically as a weaver. Surprisingly enough, that was the same occupation one of my 0-level characters that died had. But yeah, he's a weaver by trade.
Aditu is an elven forester by trade, and she just got the urge to quest one day, and here she is. Benevik was the dwarven scribe for the city council of Place Your Name Here town. And he heard all sorts of cases against adventurers, and it's like, they get all up to all kinds of crazy hijinks. Let's go find out. And so he started adventuring one day.
All right. I really like the impromptu sitcom character cover story manner of that telling.
Thank you.
All right. So we didn't hear about Justin, though.
So Justin is my cleric. He is a worshiper of Justicia, which also prompted a name change in honor of her. Other than that, he's a gambler, so he's willing to take risks, but at the same time, he's lawful, so he takes lawful risks, and he has some lucky dice.
What's a lawful risk versus an unlawful risk, Matt?
I mean, I guess we're going to find out.
Okay, fair enough. So, the 6 of you survived some harrowing ordeals together at the start of your adventuring career, which we're going to just assume happened. And you have banded together to fight evil and earn loot wherever you can find it. Which pursuits have led you to a journey through a dark and brooding forest, across desolate, windswept moors. All about you is the endless gray, either the cold mists hanging on the valley floors or the dark clouds piling atop the bare, craggy peaks. Your destination is Hirot, a lonely village set at the foot of the Trolltooth Mountains, with its promise of a warm hearth and good company. Until then, your only companions are the ravens that circle overhead and the howl of distant wolves in the night. Your reverie is broken by muffled screams in the sight of shuffling forms ahead in the mists. You guys want to do anything at this point?
Fiore just comments about how she misses the green pastures of home, not necessarily so much as just does not like the dark, gray, and dingy environment she is now in.
Okay.
D2 will commiserate with her, also saying that she wants to be back in the forests, but this is the way to make a better living. Hopefully.
Sargento just grunts. He's not too bright, so he's probably just in awe of whatever's around him.
I feel like none of you reacted to the last sentence I said, which is that you hear muffled screams and you see shuffling forms ahead in the mist.
They're dissociating right now from that. Like, oh, home.
Understood. Well, while you have your existential conversation about the nature of adventuring, grim peasants with dirt-lined faces drawn with fear emerge from the gloom. They all bear crude weapons like wood axes, staffs, pitchforks, knives. The mob is driving a raven-haired woman before them, gagged and bound with thick rope. She squirms and fights them with every step. Trailing the mob are solemn figures astride war horses, the telltale glint of armor flashing beneath their wolfskin cloaks.
So Justin's interested in finding out what this woman did. So he'll just call out like, "Hey, what's going on?"
The riders upon the horses at the back immediately come forward at the sound of your voice. The rest of the mob of peasants completely ignores you. But the one rider comes forth, flanked by a couple of his fellows. He comes forward and says, "This is none of your concern. Do not interfere." He is a very large man, looks heavily muscled and scarred, maybe about 50 years old.
I mean, I'm just asking what's going on. Like, what are we seeing here? Even if it's none of our business, like, should we join in?
I mean, it's obvious this woman is being punished in some way. What has she done? And why this particular punishment?
Is that the elf or the dwarf saying that?
That is Benedict, the dwarf, saying that.
Okay. So he looks down at you, Benedict, and says, "You make assumptions without knowing our situation. She has done no wrong, but she must die."
Why must she die?
Because if she does not, many others will. What business is it of yours?
Are you willing to elaborate on that?
Some of the other guys on the horses look like they kind of want to say something, but they're all looking to this lead guy, and he's not really giving them the nod, so they're not saying anything. But he's going to consider you for a moment and then say, "A fell creature stalks the wilderness around our village, often even entering the village itself. It slays as it will every night, unless we offer a sacrifice. One night in 3, we choose one person at random. and this person's death will save the rest of us.
Cabanal will try and draw the attention of his fellow travelers to whisper in their ears, should we not intervene and slay this beast to save this woman's life?
Perhaps save the entire village.
Yeah, Justin is very interested in felling the beast to save the innocent.
Shall we
You
tell
get
these guards?
agreeable nods from Aditu and Benedict.
Shall we tell the guards, or shall we be stealthy about it and take care of the business on our own?
I mean, I guess if we can get any information from the guard, that might benefit knowing what we're looking for.
I second that motion.
So Justin will speak up to the guard and just say, "What if we take care of the beast? What can you tell us?"
To clarify one point, this man who's been speaking to you, you can tell by his dress and his bearing, this is not a guard. This is a person in authority. But when you say that, he will say, I can tell you that it cannot be slain by mortal weapons. You would do well to avoid it entirely. You would do well to avoid our entire village. And do not make trouble. I will not stand for it here.
And Justin will ask if he has any immortal weapons. Maybe we can borrow.
This conversation is tiresome. If you value your lives, move on somewhere else. You may stay in Hirot tonight, and tomorrow be on your way as quickly as you can, lest we add your names to the pool.
Yeah, let's stay here. Maybe somebody else will be a little less belligerent. Fourth, maybe we can follow some of those side pieces for this noble turd and get some info from them.
Yeah, is any of the citizenry look receptive at all to our approach?
Some of the thanes on the horses view you. They seem to view you a little more, a little less belligerently than the Jarl, which is this person who's been addressing you. But they aren't going to say anything like that with him here, and you can all judge that easily enough. At the moment, the rest of the townspeople are occupied with carrying off this sacrificial woman.
Does anybody have any skills where we might be able to like slip a note to one of these other guys and maybe meet them somewhere? We've been given permission to stay overnight, so maybe we can have a conversation with one of these other guys elsewhere.
If you've got paper, ink, and a quill, I could write a note. Says Benedict.
I got a big old sword.
Technology.
Rory will kind of slip away and hide and follow the peasantry to see where they take the woman ultimately.
They take her to a a series of standing stones that is nearby the road you are already traveling down. And they begin lashing her to a central, what is clearly a sacrificial stone with blood stains on it and decaying gore around the bottom of it. There are ropes run through holes in the stones, and they're tying her up. They are doing so in a manner that is not like they don't seem angry or vengeful. They seem resigned.
And she's submissive. She's
not at all.
struggling
No,
against her?
she's struggling.
She is struggling.
She wants out, but from what the Jarl has told you, they all know it might be their turn next, but they have to do it.
I don't anticipate we'll stop this sacrifice, Kebinal says. We should consult with others without the Jarl or the in charge around.
Do you two think this is a fine idea?
So is the group consensus to allow this one and then explore for more information in town?
You said it's 1 in 3 days, right?
Yep.
I'm less inclined to let this one go. Well, just like as Justin, I'm less inclined to let this one go, but without getting some of the Fey guards away from their leader, then I don't have any other idea besides hanging out in town and seeing if we can get some information.
Well, once they have finished lashing her to the stone securely, the townspeople begin to leave and head back. And the Jarl will address you guys and say, "You may come to town if you wish, or move on your own. It should be safe enough for you. The beast shall come here for the sacrifice and leave others alone tonight. If you are out of the area by nightfall tomorrow, you should have no problem."
Both Kebinal and Ferrari are okay with letting her be sacrificed this evening.
Benevik is not okay with that. Aditu doesn't really care either way. But she waits for the Jarl to get some distance, out of hearing distance, before suggesting that we either stake it out and watch for the monster, or wait for everyone to go home and either cut her bonds or somehow finagle an escape.
Yeah, I'm okay with seeing if we can get everybody to disperse. I mean, maybe we can even talk to the woman that's tied up.
They're already heading back.
Do the townsfolk or the Jarl's men post a sentry to make sure that the execution takes place, or sacrifice?
No, they can't get out of here fast enough.
Well, let's go talk to the sacrifice then.
Kevin all will keep an eye on the road as the people leave to make sure no one returns.
All right.
I you an opportunity to speak to her.
Okay, so you guys are approaching then?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so as she sees you coming up, whichever of you do so, she is going to start pleading with you. You're strangers. Have you come to help us? Can you release me? Please cut my bonds.
Is anybody like astute at like seeing if there's any danger? Because I have an idea, but I don't have that skill set to see if we're in any kind of immediate danger.
Having a quick look.
Maybe a D2?
What kind of danger are you looking for?
Like if we're going to be having this conversation and just become part of the sacrifice, or like you've said that there's no, but like you said that everybody from the town has like taken off pretty quick.
Yeah, they're gone. And from what you were told, the beast attacks at night, which it is now mid-afternoon, so you're not in
Okay.
immediate danger from that.
From that beast.
Well,
I mean, is there any?
Was it Kebanol who stood watch on the road?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so, I mean, you've got someone on watch. I really can't give you any, like, prophetic information beyond that.
So then I guess I'll cover my own butt, and we can see how failing magic stuff works. Because Justin can cast Holy Sanctuary, which will protect him and some others. Create a safe space.
Well, if you roll high enough, I don't think you're capable of rolling high enough to protect anyone other than yourself. I think, if I remember how this one reads. So yeah, if you want to cast Holy Sanctuary, give me a spell check. This is our first magic spell of this whole game in 3 sessions, because none of the level zeros could do that.
And I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay, you roll a
So-
d20. You add
So-
your personality modifier, which is +1, and your spellcaster level, which is also 1 right now. So roll a d20 and add 2.
All right. So I get a 10.
You failed to cast the spell.
Wow. At least I tried to.
Yeah. So Justin prays to Justicia, and nothing comes of it. Is anyone going to speak to this woman that you've walked up to?
Yeah, my goal was to create this sanctuary and then start talking, but
You can say you did. No one knows what, holy magic looks like.
it's true. I could say I did. I don't know if there's anything about lying in my cleric
As long
rights,
as it's orderly.
So is she gagged? Do we have to remove a gag, or are we?
No,
gonna ask
she's
her
already
questions?
spoken to you and asked you to release her. She's not gagged.
So Justin will ask her about the beast, if she can tell us any information about this every third night sacrifice.
It is the Hound. They call it the Hound of Hyrot. It came to our village some time ago and began eviscerating and eating people. Yeah, the Jarl and and his advisors concocted this scheme of sacrificing one person every 3 nights. There are old legends of this monster, but it was always a myth until recently it reappeared.
Have you ever seen the monster?
Yes, I have. When it used to come into the village, most of us have seen it.
But at the rate of 1 person every 3 days, the village will eventually be wiped out.
Yes.
What sense is there in that?
No one has a better idea. We would leave if we could, but where would we go? We would fight it, but it is immortal.
Well, you say you have legends of this creature. How was it defeated before?
The great hero, Ulfenar, from times past, was said to have slain the beast. But as we ourselves have seen, it has been slain several times and always comes back. It is a large, demonic hound, and if it finds me here tonight, it will devour me alive. Please cut my bonds.
Benedict will look over to the lookout. I forget which one of Mia's characters it was.
Ebenal, he's there.
Ebenal. Is the coast clear? Nobody's in view?
That's correct. Nobody's there.
All is
right,
safe.
then Benedict will cut her bonds.
Okay, she says, and any other character's going to try to interfere with Benedict doing that?
Rory just asks her, where will you go now that you are free?
I will return to my father in the village. They had to restrain him in order to take me.
And can we talk you out of doing that?
No. Where else would I go?
You could hang out with us, but not in the village, because then maybe we can figure out a good way to get rid of the monster.
I know.
Without alerting.
I know only a little of the creature. I don't know what else to tell you about it except that it cannot be slain. Our city guards have killed it in the past, and it just it vanishes. It turns to mist when slain, and reappears the next night as though nothing had happened.
What's the longest it's ever been away for when it was slain by your legendary hero?
Hundreds of years beyond living memory. There's a tomb, perhaps his, I don't know, hidden in the hills north of the town. There is a king buried there, a savage king known as the Wolf Slayer. It might be him. I don't know.
So Justin will address like the rest of the party. Maybe there's a way we can sneak her back to her dad's house so that like the guards don't know that she's back and she can stay hidden somehow. Maybe we can get some information from her dad about.
Yes, that is the thing to do. If the Jarl knows that I escaped, he will blame me when the creature comes to the town tonight.
We should investigate that tomb. Maybe there is a weapon of renown that can be used.
Can someone roll me a d24, please?
D20.
I can do that real quick. 19.
Okay. She will say, there is one rumor I heard from an old witch who lives in town, that the hound could be slain if it were somehow bound, restrained before the killing below. Then and only then would it cease to return.
Fiore, I've got rope, Fiore says, for roaring.
Well, I don't know how you would tie up such a demonic beast. Perhaps you should ask the Mad Widow. Her name is Ime. She is the witch. She must know how to trap it.
Show us where to find this witch.
She lives in the village. If you sneak me in there and back to my father's house, I can point her out. He runs the inn. He can keep me up in our rooms on the 3rd floor. I wouldn't have to come down.
Before we head back to town, D2 is going to gather up the rope that tied her to the altar and keep that.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
I say let's sneak in.
All right.
Sneak in, ask some questions, and sneak out again.
Sounds good. Let me bring up a town image for you guys, and then you can describe to me how you wish to try and sneak in.
Kebinal will allow her to wear his cloak to conceal her as best he can.
Okay. Hopefully you guys can see this.
A walled town. Okay.
Yeah. So that little indentation at the southern end of it is the only gate in. And then within the town there are, a number of buildings. But outside of it, there are guards posted. So at the south gates, there are going to be a couple of militiamen standing watch. And if you're going to go in through the gates, you're going to be seen by them.
Where in town is the inn?
Good question. Let's see. It's area A3, which I can't even see that from here. So let me look at it on here. Okay, so the inn is fairly close to the gate. I am going actually to just make this bigger so you can see it.
Kebinal would distract the guards with the color spray if the opportunity is available. Maybe sneak her past.
Okay. So, I don't know if you guys can see. I've put it over Tony's face. Let me try and move it. I don't know if you guys can see A3 here. It's a largish building to the right of the main road, close to the south.
I do see it, yes.
Yeah. So that's the inn. That's where she lives with her father.
And how high are the city walls?
That's an excellent question. Let me look that up.
If we catapult her in, Kavanaugh could use feather fall as well.
It's a
Is it?
15-foot palisade.
Hmm.
You could probably scale it.
Between A9 and I can't see the other one. Are those like stables against the wall? A9.
Sorry.
Yeah,
the,
aiming for the corner at A9 and A8, and that other one that I just see.
Oh,
Two A9s, A8.
yeah, A9 is indeed stables. And A8 is, well, you can't see that from here, but it is craftsman area. In fact, if you look around, there are multiple A8s, and all of those buildings are the homes and workplaces of the various village craftsmen.
So yeah, between A9, and then I guess it points almost right at A3. There's a ladder right there. In that
Let me
southeast corner, yeah.
let me resize again. Hold on a moment. Okay, so a ladder. Ah, yeah, that's the ladder up to the interior side of the palisade. So that's inside the village. You won't have much use for that from outside.
Yeah. We could hoist her up in that area, I guess.
Yeah, I mean there are ladders all along the wall. I see a couple others on that side going around to the northeast. You could attempt to do that.
Yeah, Kavanaugh would do a distraction using the color spray away from that area to draw the guards' attention.
Okay. If that's what the party wants to attempt, we can do that. Let's go through who's going to go in the main gate, and is anyone going to go with Morgan, the girl, over the palisade?
Adi2 will go with her over the palisade.
Okay.
I mean, we've been invited in. We've been told that we can stay.
Yes.
So the least amount of people helping get Morgan over the wall would be the least suspicious for us coming in the gates. Are there any guards posted where we're looking at putting her over, or are they just posted at the entrance?
You can only see them at the entrance. But at this point, you know that you have been seen. As you're approaching the village, there is a cry and then a horn blows. So as you guys have been standing there looking at it, they have also spotted you. You're not close enough yet that they can recognize that you have Morgan with you, but yeah, they can see you now.
Okay. I think Morgan and I are gonna hang back into the tree line.
Okay, let's get
And
that's
wait for a signal.
that's 82 that's doing that, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so if that means that the other 5 of you are going to walk up, then let's do that. There are 2 watchmen on duty, and they do not close the gates on you or anything, but they do raise their hands to you as you approach and say, "The Jarl told us you might be coming. Are you friends to our village?"
For now.
We have no hostile intentions.
Well,
Yeah, go ahead.
under normal circumstances, we would welcome you, but things have not been normal here for some time. I advise you to take your rest and leave as quickly as you can.
Where may we find a fine bed and a nice meal for the evening?
Well, the finest inn in town is the sign of the Wolf Spear. You'll see it just off the main road, a little ways in. There's a sign with a spear and a wolf.
So it's not just a clever name.
No. It is run by Brogan, though he may not be amenable to guests just yet.
Is there a reason why he would not be amenable to guests? You would think travelers would be welcome.
He lost his daughter today.
That is unfortunate. We will pay our respects.
Very well. They wave you to go in if you wish.
As Benedict walks through, he turns slightly and eyes the walkway up on the palisade, trying to count guards on that side of the wall.
Okay. There really aren't any guards right now. It's still daytime, and there's the two at the gate, and there's a couple more inside around the gate. But as far as like the rest of the walkway, you actually don't see any.
Is there an opportune time for Kebanaw to create a distraction? Maybe he goes to the center of the town and say, "Come, come, folks. Bear witness to the great deeds of Kebanaw."
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you can stir up a little attention to draw him away.
You can do that. Where would Kebanaw go? Because the sign of the wolf spear is right there facing the town square. So if you're drawing attention to there, you might actually be making it harder for Morgan to slip into the building.
If I go, it looks like a little well in the southwest corner.
Yeah, that is a well.
Maybe over towards that side, away from the inn.
Okay. What shall you cast?
It's a little on the dangerous side, but the color spray.
Okay, let me find out. What page was that?
135.
Okay. I do like the organization of spells by class in this book. So go ahead and roll your spellcasting check.
No spell burn. Oh, well, that's a misfire.
How bad?
Let's see. Lost, misfire, worse. That is a 4 on the misfire table
Okay.
for taint or corruption.
Okay, I gotta find the corruption.
Is it a minor or a major? Be a
Hold on,
minor.
Well, 1d3. Wait, for color spray, the misfire table is a D3 roll.
D3.
Yeah.
Okay, let me roll that then.
Yeah. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I think I might have misunderstood you. Did you roll 4 for your spell check?
It was a 3 for the spell check.
Okay, then
Basically a nat 1.
Okay, then you have lost the spell, but you don't have a misfire. It fails, and you lose it for the day.
Probably draws laughs from the crowds that he is drawn.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but you have nonetheless distracted them with your bizarre yelling and antics. And now I need 82 to roll a climb check to get over the wall. That'll be, I guess, agility.
Agility. Trained or untrained?
What was his occupation prior to adventuring?
Forester, Elven Forester.
Trained.
Trained. 8.
Okay, you do not make it up on the first attempt.
Benedict is going to slide over to that corner and see if he can hoist that ladder over the wall.
Okay, then I'll need Benedict to make a check to do that without being seen. We can call that... yeah, we'll call that agility as well, I guess.
I'm assuming that's untrained since he was a clerk, scribe.
Yeah, that's correct. You can... yeah, that's right.
That is also an 8.
Okay, but you can roll you can modify that with your luck because of the distraction provided by Kebinol.
Rory can give you a luck point.
Or
Yeah, luck modifier.
Benedict does not have a luck modifier.
All right. What were you saying, Mia?
Rory can give you a luck modifier from her luck stash as a halfling.
And how much?
I don't recall. Whatever her base luck is, she can give up to 1, I do believe.
Okay. So, a modifier of 1 to his 8.
Yeah.
That will actually be enough because of the distraction. So you are able to get away and get to one of those ladders and drop it down the other side, which does get 82 and Morgan up to the palisade.
All right, and we try and haul the ladder back over and put it back where it was and make sure nothing ever happened and sneak her in.
Done easily enough. Are you going to attempt to disguise her in any way?
Given her cloak.
She does have the cloak.
You've given her a cloak, you said?
Kebinol did, yeah.
Okay, I missed that earlier. So, yeah, okay, so she
did I.
she can pull that up over her head, and walking with 2 strangers, it is easy enough to get her into the inn without anyone recognizing her, especially with the distraction already happening. She will go in the back door of the inn and up the stairs to her rooms at the top, where she will say to 82 and Benedict to go bring her father upstairs.
All right. Did we go in through the back with her?
You tell me. I assumed you did, but if not...
I would assume at least one of them would.
Okay. Which one?
ID2.
Okay. So yeah, she'll send him down. She'll send her down, and there she sees what Benedict has already seen, which is Brogan the Bull Haverson. He is a giant of a person. Former adventurer himself until he took an arrow to the knee. And yeah. So this whole building is almost like a fortress itself. The inn is. It's got arrow slits in the shutters. It's got a heavy iron bar standing inside the door ready to lock it. There are crenellations on the edge of the roof up top. It looks like it was probably something else before it was an inn. And when you come into the main area, you see a great wolf spear over the bar. And you can easily tell upon looking at it a little more closely that it's actually fake. The blade is made of wood that's been painted silver. And you do see Brogan behind the bar with his face in his hands, leaning on his elbows.
ID2 will step up to the bar and speak softly. Your daughter requires your presence upstairs.
He looks up at you. What?
We freed her, snuck her back into the city. She is upstairs now and awaits your presence.
Oh God! He gets up and rushes out of the room.
Keep it down.
He's trying. He gets up and rushes out of the room. There's no one else in here at the moment, so it's not too big of a deal. But you hear him go pounding up the stairs. You're left alone for a while, and then he comes back down and he says, "You must tell no one what you did. If they know she is here, they will just take her out again. You and your group, you are welcome to stay here as long as you need. No charge for room and board. Whatever you need. Thank you."
Thank you, sir. Your daughter told us that you and possibly a witch in town would have more information about the beast plaguing this region.
Unfortunately, you may find out for yourself tonight. Many people have taken to staying here instead of their homes at night. The place locks up pretty tight. But without the sacrifice, the beast will come hunting. Tony, why don't you roll a d24? Do you need me to roll that for you, or do you have a digital means?
I've got roll 20 up right now.
Okay. Get a d24.
24, you say?
Yes, sir.
That is a 20.
He says, "All I know of the hound is what I've heard. It makes its lair somewhere out in the sunken fens to the east of town. North and east."
Your daughter told us of a tomb that was also in the area. Is that the same place, or is that a different location?
A tomb. Well, the only tomb I know of is the Serpent Mound to the north. That's different. The fens are a swampy, horrible place. The tomb is just some old savage king's tomb. You don't seek to hunt the creature. It cannot be harmed by mortal weapons, you know.
Well, if we enter this king's tomb and find a blessed or magical weapon, we could hunt the beast and rid the region of this menace to your populace.
Well, No doubt if such a thing were possible, you would have many thanks from the people here. All right, gang, I'm putting up a wilderness map. Now that every place on it has at least been described to you. You've got the village of Hirot down there towards the bottom left. The standing stones where you rescued Morgan from are nearby it to the east. That serpent-shaped mound to the north is the tomb, and then the fens are up to the northeast corner there. So that's the lay of the place.
We could definitely swing by the tomb on the way to the Finns.
Mm-hmm.
Have we had ample opportunity for the rest of the party to make it to the inn at this time?
Yes. Yes, everyone's here, and some other townspeople are starting to filter in as well. Some of them are laughing and making fun of Kebinal for his ridiculous display, but everyone is grateful for the distraction from the day's events.
So, do we want to go into like a room to plan our stuff out so nobody else can hear?
Yeah, you can have a room. He'll give you as many rooms as you want.
I would think before we do that, we might want to talk to the witch. We could ask the barman to point us in her direction or to her dwelling.
Yeah, sure. She is at area A6. She has a little hovel there, which is probably up above what I have on screen right now. But she's in town. Let me bring it down a bit. Excuse me. Okay. A6. Well, it's kind of irrelevant. She's in town somewhere. I promise. Let me,
Oh, it's right there in the corner,
I'm going to look at it on my little map
top
here.
left. It's really shaded.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It's back. It's back in the shadow of the cliff leading up to the Great Hall. It is a hovel, as I said, so it's not fancy. There it is.
So you mentioned that a bunch of the townsfolk come to stay in the inn because it's safe. Is the witch one of those people, or does she stay in her little shanty house?
She's never come here at night. You probably shouldn't call her a witch to her face. Her name's Ime. You can tell her that I sent you. We're friendly.
And what can you tell us about Ime?
Well, she's the oldest person in the village. She always seems to know a trick or an herb or an incantation of some sort that will help someone out. She's done not to stop the beast, but she's friendly enough in her way.
I'm thinking that maybe the magic users, D2 and Kebinal, go see her,
Is
and
nobody
everybody
dead
else
yet?
stays here.
Yeah. Works for me.
Definitely. Kebinal would be down with that.
We've been
Maybe
playing.
she can teach me something.
We've been playing over an hour, and you're all still alive.
It's amazing.
Level 1, and also staying in town. Okay, so if Kevinall and 82 are going to the witch's hovel while everyone else hangs out at the inn, we can fast forward that a bit. So what you learn from the bartender, if you keep asking, is that no one really goes here except for like little kids who dare each other to get close to the witch's house. Grown-ups don't do that, but they also don't really talk to her that much, except when she comes out of her house to get, to buy things. It's the only time anyone really sees her. So you approach her home, where you were told it was. It's pretty easy to pick out. There are not too many hovels anywhere near it. And you knock on the door, at which you are bid to enter. It's odd inside. It's larger than it looks like it is on the outside. There's a fire pit, not a lot. I mean, and not like this obviously magical. It's just deceptively large. There's a big fire pit in the center. There's a cat sleeping on a shelf, and the old widow herself sits in a rocking chair, spinning flames from the fire into golden threads with her hands. She says to you, "Welcome, welcome. Few come to my home."
We've come seeking knowledge of the beast. Any help in slaying it?
Or of its legend.
The hound? You seek to slay the hound? Fools.
Is it not foolish to sacrifice your citizenry to excuse me, to the beast at this time? Is that not also foolish?
Aha, yes. Yes, that is foolish as well. Of course, if more were like you, if more were willing to pay a visit to an old woman, perhaps not so many need die.
What can you tell us to end this beast's reign of terror on this region?
I can tell you this, that the oldest person in this village, myself, has never been taken by the creature in all his raids into our homes. He never comes in here, and no one has asked why.
That was my next question. Why are you protected? Do you think?
Oh, I don't think. I know what protects me. The threads. Hundreds of slender threads you see in the walls. And her walls, it's like a mud hut. And you can see, now that she has pointed it out, that there are all these random threads pressed into the mud at various points. I can spin these from the hair of the dead. They make a barrier impassable to the hound. If I had some more, I could even make shackles to bind the hound. It is said that if it is bound, it may be slain.
And you need hair from the deceased to make these threads?
Yes.
Human deceased or any random thing we find that's deceased?
Where do we acquire this hair? Yes.
It must be human or demi-human. An animal hair. They have no souls. Their fur has no power. The way the hair of a person does.
So we need to get some hair. Where shall we go get that?
Do
we dig up bodies? I'm not opposed to such things, but
you may acquire the hair of a dead person wherever you see fit, but if I am to do something for you, one of you must do something for me. I require a husband. If one of your number will volunteer for the job, then I will make you your manacles.
is she, I hate to ask this, is she remotely attractive for an elderly woman?
I mean,
I'm sorry, that's rude.
middle of the road, I guess. She's not a hideous old crone, but you know, yeah, I don't have a picture of her or anything, but I mean, she's definitely an old crone, if not a hideous old crone. So, I mean, it had not crossed your mind to marry her, no matter what your age, until she said so.
Kavanaugh considers the idea for a moment and thinks, oh, she would definitely die before me. I would be free. He's thinking this to himself.
She says, she sees your indecision and says, "Fear not. I do not require you to pay your debt until after the hound is slain. It may be that you do not live to pay it."
How much hair do you need from dead people?
As much as you can bring me.
That could be a lot, that could be a little, but how much do you need for the manacles?
I require as much hair as you can bring from one corpse. It should be sufficient.
But again, the recent dead, is there anywhere we could possibly find a body?
Well,
What about the sacrifice stone?
I understand they took the innkeeper's daughter there today. Wait until the morning, and you may find her head. Or not, depending upon the beast's whims.
Slight problem with that. We would rather slay the beast this evening if possible.
Well, then you are free to look for other hair. We have not had cause to bury anyone in quite some time. The beast tends to handle that for us.
Leaning over to a D2, it's like, there's a tomb nearby, correct? Maybe we can find what we seek there.
The tomb? You know of the tomb, the serpent mound of Ulfenar?
We know of the tomb, but not anything more.
Well, it is an old place, a dangerous place. I know what others in town do not. That the beast, the Hound of Hyrot, was until recently imprisoned there. You will discover that 3 are missing from this town's population. 3 who were not taken by the Hound. Thieves they were, who broke into the tomb and in their ignorance lost their lives and freed the beast. Ulfenar, the old savage king, had captured and slain it. It stayed in his tomb with him. It should have been for all time, but for the greed of our thieves.
If what was stolen was returned, would the beast return as well?
They did not take anything from the tomb, for those 3 thieves were taken by the tomb. Nothing was stolen.
So if we go to the tomb, do you say we are doomed? Do you think we could possibly find the hair of these dead thieves?
You may. But if all you seek is hair from a corpse, you are probably better off going to the Standing Stones. I caution you not to go tonight. As the sun is going down, the beast will be there soon.
I say that we will acquire this hair and bring it to you at our soonest convenience.
And which of you 2 shall marry me? I said that I require a husband, but I am not opposed to an alternate arrangement, she says, turning her eyes towards 82.
Aditu will blush and turn away and mumble something inaudible.
If by the time you bring me the hair I have one of your promise to wed, then it shall be done. But I warn you, do not break faith with a witch.
And we were told not to call you that.
They fear what I will do to them. But you are a different sort, I can tell. If you weren't, you wouldn't be in here.
Would you be willing to take my name, my surname, Peldavi?
Peldavi? I suppose.
Then it is arranged.
You are strong, and you know the art. We will be a good match. All right, so
any artifacts you can give us to help us on our way?
Yes. She reaches over and picks something up out of a little cabinet and holds it out to you. It's a shovel.
A shovel.
We have not buried any in a while, but some of the corpses in the graveyard may still have hair.
Fantastic. Thank you for your time.
All right, so they've neglected to put it on this map, but we'll say there's a graveyard outside of town. And there is also the standing stones, and of course the tomb. So what is your plan? I think you guys probably will go back to the inn to discuss it with the other characters.
I'm thinking that's the most viable course at the moment.
Okay. All right. So we're
discuss in a room and not the common room.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we'll assume that the six of you are in a room that you have gotten from the bull, and you are free to speak now. And of course, Kebanal and 82 have relayed the conversation with Ime.
No congratulations necessary. The wedding gifts will be appreciated.
Justin just laughs about that and says, like, you should have offered Sargento. Dude's dumb as a stump. And then Sargento laughs.
Yeah, actually, the door opens for a second, and the bull leans in with a bottle of wine and some glasses and said, "Congratulations on your engagement." And puts them down and leaves.
Oh, wow.
Well, I knew a man named Streck once who dug graves. If there are any fresh graves, it will be an easy task to dig up to acquire the hair.
Yeah, this is... your characters have no way of knowing this, but it is now canon that this is, in fact, Strack's shovel. The witch will have summoned it from the Chaos Realm.
Oh, nice.
She summons things at random. She doesn't know why she got a shovel. So we're close to break time here. We can do the hair getting when we return. But what is your method for getting hair? Are you going to dig up a grave? Are you going to go to the tomb? Or are you going to try and find some out by the stones?
So we know the beast can be slain after it's bound, but that doesn't necessarily mean that there's not still some kind of weapon or device in the tomb. Since we were told it can't be killed with a mortal weapon.
But the witch said, unless it is bound. And one thing she forgot to say that I'll just throw in there as a retcon, it can only be bound by certain means. Mundane manacles or ropes will not do it. It must be this magical shackles or some other magical means. Another route, if someone is strong enough, is for it to be restrained by brute force of a person. But a person, of course, is alive and has a soul, and so that's why that restraint will work. Or magical restraints, but not just some rope.
How close was the standing stones to the tomb? Is it in the same direction?
No, actually, the standing stones are a bit east, and the tomb is straight north. Much further than the standing stones.
But the stones are closer to the town than...
The stones are much closer to the town than the tomb, yes. But
If it's getting dark, the stones are where the monster is going to be.
And when it finds nothing there, the town is where the monster is going to be.
Yeah. Could we maybe convince this hulking man that runs the inn to assist in restraining the beast?
He took an arrow
He
to the
seems-
knee.
Large and strong enough? Okay. He's like, no.
Yeah, he's got to
retired now.
defend. He's got to defend the inn itself. Those of you who stay behind will know from conversation with the townsfolk that he stays in the common room. He sleeps downstairs with a weapon at hand to protect his guests every night. He's not going to go off and wrestle a monster wolf, especially now that he has his daughter back.
And he took an arrow to the knee.
Yeah. He doesn't adventure anymore, is the upshot of that.
I mean, Sargento is strong. I don't know if he can withhold a monster, but he is pretty. He's pretty jacked.
Well, is Sargento volunteering to grapple the beast?
I mean, if it comes down to it, but we also we can still go out and try to find some of this hair and have other options, backup plans. Like Sargento should be the backup plan.
Right.
And if the beast-
I'm thinking we go looking for the hair in the morning.
Yeah, we may not need it. If the beast comes to town, there may be a fresh corpse somewhere in the town that we can harvest hair from.
Quite true.
But then, of course, the local constabulary will assume that we freed the sacrifice. Would be my guess.
So, are you guys going to wait the night and just get some hair from whoever dies? Or are you going to go dig up a graveyard? Or are you going to try and race the beast to the stones?
I don't think it would be a good idea to race the beast to the stones.
So you have graveyard or let someone die?
Can investigate the graveyard quickly enough.
Graveyard's my vote.
Okay. Well, the ground is pretty wet because it's it's a swampy area. You do find the graveyard. None of the graves look new.
I'm going to have Aditu and Benabik on watching for people coming up to us.
Okay, who has the shovel of Strack?
Kevin will ask Sargento, since he is buff, to put his back into it.
All right. Sargento and any character who wishes to take a turn with the shovel, roll me a luck check.
Right. 2.
Okay, so you dig up a grave and the corpse within is rotted to only bones and there is no hair.
I have a total of 7.
Kebinol is digging as well?
Yes.
Okay. You also dig up a grave and find no hair. A nice shirt, though.
Let's see. Justin will take a stab at it, and he rolls a 19.
Justin finds someone who was buried with his hat. And because of the hat providing a slight layer of protection from the rotting earth around the grave, there is indeed a significant amount of hair left. And it is now full dark.
Sargento wants the hat, so he's going to take the hat.
That's
and
cool.
Put it over his plate mail.
Okay.
Kavanaugh has scissors and trims the hair away
All
in
right.
clumps.
One last luck check from anyone. One person.
That's a straight D20.
Yep, and add your luck modifier.
It
That
has
is a natural 6 with a modifier of 0.
Okay. You hear the screams begin in town before you reach the gates. We're going to take our break right there and come back in 10 minutes.
Awesome.
Thank you everyone for watching. We'll be here in 10 minutes. We're just going to stretch our legs and come right back. Welcome back to the village of Hirot, where things just went from bad to more bad. You guys are outside the village. It has become full night while you are digging graves, and as you rush to get back inside, you begin to hear the screams of villagers. Additionally, the south gate, the only way into the village, is closed, locked. You're outside. So how's that gonna help? Huh?
Sargento, toss us over.
Yeah, I mean, who's capable of being tossed over?
Well, we have a dwarf and a halfling, but we know about tossing dwarves.
I'm still willing to try. The dice haven't been friendly to me, though.
If you can get somebody out there, we can throw a rope down. So.
Yeah, I say throw the halfling, and D2 will give the rope from the altar to Frory.
Okay.
Well, we know where there's a ladder, right? So we could just toss at the same point and then move the ladder over to get the rest of us over back towards that corner of the inn.
Is that what's going to happen? You have a rope. Remember, this is only a 15-foot high palisade, so theoretically you could climb it.
Theoretically, we could do a lot of things.
Theoretically, you can cast magic
Very
spells.
true.
Rory's like, yeah, just throw me up there. I'll get the ladder.
Oh God! I mean, it's a spiked palisade. I don't know if you really want to be throwing people.
Okay.
Oh, we've got spam in the Twitch chat. Let's see. Where's the ban button? Get out
Yeah,
of here.
where'd that
There we
come
go.
from, right?
Ah, bots. All right. Anyway, back to the game.
So can we, I mean, how tough is this south entrance door? Can we break it down?
Not in any decent amount of time. No, it's a city gate.
Yeah, if you could hoist. Sorry.
Yeah, I was just gonna say if a few people could break it down easily, it wouldn't be a city gate.
It would just be a barn door.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess they just hoist Rory up there, Rory, and she will tie a rope off and drop it down.
Okay.
No need to toss her, I guess.
Yeah, and I'll say with 6 of you assisting one person to get up there, and then having the rope to tie, that you are able to get over without a check. There's no one here to stop you. The commotion within the village is significant. There's yelling, there's screaming. You are able to get over the palisade and onto the ledge on the inside of it. And you hear the screaming coming from the western side of the village, which is where you guys are, more or less. You're kind of on the southwest wall.
I mean, our goal is to get back to the MA so she can both marry Kevinall and make us a hair rope.
That is correct.
And it does look like we could walk along the palisade wall and drop down a ladder by her hut.
And in so doing, bypass the commotion.
As best as possible, unless somebody wants to jump into the fray.
Okay. Yeah, if that is what you choose to do, you can do it easily enough. The guards of the town have all gone to the battle within, and there's no one at the wall anymore. Normally at night there would be, but they've all gone because the enemy's already within. They've all gone there.
Can we see the beast or whatever is causing all the ruckus?
Not at first, but as you progress through the town, you are going to pass area A7 there. And that is a farmer's home. I know it's very small, but I wish I had like a little highlight button, like on Roll20 or something.
I see it just to the right of the A9, right? Just to the right of the stable.
There's a lot of A9s, but yes.
A lot of A9s, A8s, and A7s, yeah.
Well, there is the one A7 that we are concerned with. Sorry, I'm zooming in and out. There's another method that would have been better for this, but I don't know if that ended up being any bigger or not. But yeah, there's what if I did this? Nope, that doesn't make it bigger either. Yeah, so you see where A9 on the west side of the village, the left side of the image, there's only one A9 there on screen. So just to the right of that is the home I'm talking about, A7. The commotion is coming from there. You see torches and fire, and you hear yells and screams. And you see this being, this demonic wolf-type creature, engaged in combat with several of the Night Watch. There are 4 of them here. And this beast is this large, black, oily, sort of misty creature. Just going to town on them. You guys now have the option of leaping down and helping, or continuing to the witch's hovel.
Kevinall will proceed to the hovel. Rory will engage.
Okay. Let me grab a little thing here. I had thought you guys would most likely go to the tomb and not fight the creature in the village. It's not how things went. So I'm just grabbing a grid because the dungeon I laid out is no longer relevant.
We went right instead of left.
Yes.
Right? The inevitable EM's plans shot.
Hey, it happens.
It does.
All right. I'll use this side. Just got a grid here. I don't even think I have a marker, but you know what? I've got a building I can put on there. Okay. Let's get it. Okay, so here is our farmhouse. And we said Ferrari was going to the fray. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
There's her. Who else is going to fight?
Benedict will go to fight. D2 will stay up on the palisade walkway.
Okay.
Fire arrows.
Here are the 3 guards. What about Justin and Sargento?
So Sargento will go to fight, and Justin will hang back.
Okay. Well, I've got 3 of you, 3 guards, and here is the creature. Let us roll initiative. I just found our criminal bear table from Honey Heist. Whoop, wrong die.
Rory rolled a 5.
Okay.
Sargento rolled a 9.
Benedict rolled a 15.
Okay.
D2 rolled a 3.
All
Let me
right.
double check and see if she's got any modifiers for that.
Kavanaugh hikes up his wizard's robe and sprints across the tower top to the witch's hut.
Okay. So Kavanaugh is ignoring the battle and running to the witch's hut. Is Justin going with Kavanaugh, or is he going to the witch's hut?
I know he said he was going to hang back with a D2 on the wall for a second.
Yeah, if he's going to stay in sight of the combat, I'll need initiative from him.
Justin's gonna go to the hut.
Okay. So Kavanaugh and Justin will run to the hut. Everyone else is in the initiative order. Oh, you know what? I need to put the guards in the order. If I can find their dang stats. There we go. All right. Well, first up is the Hound of Hyrot. Where is my PDF? Right there. Okay, so the Hound of Hyrot is going to make an attack. I'm going to have to put my dice over here. It's going to try and bite this guy. That's a 10 to hit. And he misses. So the Hound goes after this guard and misses. You guys are not impressed by the Hound of Hyrot so far. Bimibik, it's your turn.
Okay. He will rush up and attack.
You're going to shove through these guards here?
Swing out and around them.
Like that? Okay.
Yeah. Alright, so attack. It's D20 plus. I'm looking at the wrong damn sheet. That's right. This is whatchamacallit die, which is a D3.
Okay.
So 8 total.
That's a miss.
As far as I know, I can only see. Oh wait, no wait. He's got a shield attack because he's wielding a shield.
Ah.
19 plus another D3. 3. So 22 to hit.
That is a hit for sure.
All right, and that does just a D3 of damage.
Okay.
1 damage with the shield bash.
All right. You bash this thing right in the face, and you see that it does not like it. There's no blood, but there is kind of a snapping sound as you do it.
Okay.
Okay, so next up is Sargento the Second.
All right, so Sargento is going to attack with his cheese cleaver.
Yeah.
Which is what he calls his giant two-handed sword. And let's see. Rolls an 11
Total?
total.
Okay. That is... Oh, great. Hold on a moment. That's a miss. He has missed the hound. I assume that Sargento ran up to the hound, yes? So he'll be on the other side from where Bimibik is?
Yeah, just mirrored around.
Great. Okay, so yeah, he did that, but also missed. Anything else from Sargento? He basically has one action right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Rory, you're up.
Is she able to get in and get an attack off? If so, she's gonna
What's her speed?
20. She can like squeeze between
Yeah,
the
she can.
guards.
She could squeeze between, or she could even get around behind. She has just enough speed to do that.
Well, she is a dual wielder, so she will attack with both of her daggers.
Okay.
The first roll was a 10.
That's a miss.
The second was a 14.
That is also a miss.
Okay, whiff, whiff.
82 is up on the palisade still, right?
Yes, still up on the palisade. You know what? I'm thinking she's going to cast a spell. So that's a D20 plus 2.
Yep. And what is the spell?
Magic Missile.
Okay. I don't have that one bookmarked. Let me look it up. Oh, it's got to be earlier than this, I think. Yeah.
And I have a dirty 20.
Okay. Magic missile, where you at? That is the best casting roll so far by a lot. You are going to throw 1d4 plus 2 missiles. So roll that, please.
1d4 plus 2 missiles.
Yep.
So that's 3.
Okay, then you are... you're definitely going to hit, I think. There's nothing about rolling against armor class, so... oh yeah, the missiles never miss, so they may be blocked. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so... Yeah, you're going to hit 3 missiles right into the Hound. I assume that they're all targeting the Hound.
Yes.
Okay, Jason's in there talking about Attack in the Darkness. I love that we all get that reference. Okay, so each one is going to do 1d6 plus 1 damage.
All right.
And 1 being your caster level.
The first one does 3.
Okay.
Second one does 7. And the third one does 5.
Okay. So you guys all see, and so do the guards from up close, as these 3 these 3 missiles. You know what? Roll me a d10
D10.
to determine the manifestation of the missiles.
A screaming eagle would be neat.
Yeah.
Number 4.
Okay, yeah, it is in fact a screaming, clawing eagle. 3 of them come screaming out of your hand, glowing with obvious magical energy, and slam into this black, liquidy, inky hound that is battling you guys in the guards. And each eagle that hits it clearly harms it as it is shocked backwards by each impact. Well done. First successfully cast magic spell of the game. And now it is time for the guards to do something. This guy, who's facing the wrong way, is going to attack it.
I like that manifestation table for the spells.
Oh yeah, it's really cool.
Randomizes how it. That's really, really fun.
Okay, this guard has missed. This one's going to come in and completely crit fail. Oh gosh, there's a crit fail table, isn't there? No, not for guards. He just breaks.
Yes, there is.
Wait, for NPCs? I don't know. Maybe.
Oh, well, I didn't know about NPCs.
Yeah. We're going to keep things moving. I'm not going to worry about the crit table for now. The next one, crit hits. This guy crits on... He's a friggin' hero. Let's look at that crit table. We are going to do the crit hit. Let's see. Crit tables, 82. Oh, here's the fumble table. That was easy. So I'm going to... I'll roll for that other guy. Just to see it. Okay, so yeah, he just misses wildly and looks ridiculous. But this guy is going to crit hit, and he's going to roll a 2. He's going to deal his regular damage plus 1d3. Wait, no. He's going to deal his regular damage plus 1d4. Okay. D4 comes up 2. And what is his regular damage? It's +1. Oh, it's 1d6. So he does a total of 4 damage, and the creature at that, I believe, yep, the creature is slain by this guard, who is going to get all the credit.
I'm sure Aditu will get an honorable mention.
Well, I think the tales of the mighty Aditu and his or her glorious swooping eagle attack that's going to make the rounds in the village. But the creature is slain, and instead of falling to the ground dead, what you see is that its body parts and dissipates into this inky, oily mist that just flows off in every direction. And the guards let out a sigh of both relief and resignation, knowing that it will return tomorrow night. They turn to you three who helped and say, "Thank you. Thank you. If only you'd
4,
come."
actually.
Well, yeah, but one of you is not down there. If only you'd come earlier, we could have slain it before it got old Jeb. Why did it come back to the village? We left Morgan at the rock. Is it no longer satisfied with our sacrifices? The other guard is going to say, "Quiet. We must talk to the Jarl. Thank you for your aid, strangers. We must go." And they shuffle off, leaving
Is Jed's
you.
dead body nearby?
Yeah, it's in the house. You can see.
Right, I had the same thought.
Yeah, Jeb's
Does
dead.
he have a full head of hair and a beard or anything?
He is unfortunately bald.
Oh.
He has a beard,
Sure.
but only like an evil Spock beard.
Oh.
So, are you guys going to comfort the widow, or just go on your business?
Rory would just head off to the witch's hut
All right.
if there's no hair to be acquired.
Nope. Not unless you're going to murder someone. You've already got the hair from the graveyard, so. You guys make it to the witch's hut, and she is going to cackle riotously as you come in. "You've got some, but I see that you did not get here in time to save everyone. It smells like the blood of old Jeb in the air tonight." Sage of Keyblades wants to shoot one with an exploding arrow. What if I ran a game where the Twitch chat was the players? I'm going to ponder that one. Okay.
Here is your hair. Make the bindings, please.
Thank you, my love.
And double takes real quick.
She winks at you. She begins to spin her hands with this weird motion, as she did with the flames, and sort of like winds some of the hair together. As she does, it starts to glow with like a golden light. And it takes her the rest of the night. But she does manage to fashion from the hair of this corpse a pair of rope manacles. It's confusing to you how she did it because it clearly is made of more material than you brought her. But they can be tightened by putting them around a creature and pulling them tight. And she gives them to you and says, "Now you must find the beast. Place these upon him to restrain him, and strike the killing blow. Only then will he be dead for good. And then, my dear Peldavi, you will return for our wedding.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And if you die, one of your friends must take your place."
Justin's gonna nudge Sargento.
And does Sargento accept this?
No, he doesn't know any better. He's just grinning.
Okay.
Carbonell considers faking his death. Gimenez. Yeah.
All
Guess
right.
we could seek the beast in the morning at the Fins.
Yes, that is where it makes its lair. It will reform, but only at nightfall. If you can be in its lair by then, you should be able to kill it before it leaves.
So I think we just head out at first light then, towards the fens.
Well, it kind of already is light because it took her so long to make the manacles. But you don't necessarily have to set out right away. If you guys want to go take a rest at the inn before leaving, that is doable. Because the creature's not coming back to life until nightfall, as she said.
Yeah, if we were up all night, we definitely need to get some rest.
Yeah, but how long of a journey is it to the fens? Is it going to take all day, or?
It'll take a few hours, but not all day.
Yeah, the map said like each square was 100 yards, so yeah.
Yeah. Through the wilderness a little bit, so it'll slow you down, but you won't have to leave at first light. You have a little time to chill before you go. And I suppose some of you could have been resting while the witch was sewing.
Breakfast at the inn.
Yes. So you get there, and Brogan the Bull is happy to see you. But there is otherwise a deathly pall over the village. As people are clearly wondering what it means that the beast has come back to town despite them having left a sacrifice as they are meant to.
We are sorry for your loss. We have no idea why the beast would come at night.
It always used to come at night, but once we started leaving the sacrifices, it stopped. It would not come to the village. It was satisfied with our one person every 3 nights. Maybe it has simply grown hungrier.
Sargento says maybe somebody didn't tie the knots right.
They all look at you. The room goes quiet. There's a lot of anger starting to appear on their faces now. One of them stands up and says, "The Jarl wanted to blame this on you earlier. He said the beast was angered by newcomers to the village. Sounds to me like maybe you let Morgan go.
Well, then where is she?
And Morgan was the one that was sacrificed? We did not know her name.
Did you release the girl from the stones?
Kebinal says, I did not.
And what of your friends? Their eyes are traveling across the whole group now.
Justin and Sargento are both shaking their heads because they didn't do it.
Okay. Well, nonetheless.
Benedict will say.
Yeah, go ahead.
Benedict will say, your lord or jarl or whatever he's called asked us to stay out of this local custom, so we did.
Well, regardless, this has not happened since before we began the sacrifices. And the only thing different is your presence. We thank you for helping slay the beast so that it did not kill more. But I think you should leave today.
We shall be leaving after we breakfast.
All right. So, at Bragan's suggestion, you take breakfast in your room. The common area is not a friendly place for you right now. They don't have anything on you, as it were, but it doesn't matter. They're upset and looking for someone to blame. So you can eat, you can rest, and you can go, if that is what you choose to do.
Sounds like a good plan. Go slay this beast. Rid this village of its curse.
All right.
Kebinal is like, it looks as if I may be staying, so we must be successful.
All right. So you guys head out into the wilderness of the moors. Even in broad daylight, it's obvious that the place is under a deathly pall. There are black clouds in the air, and the mist rising from the ground is fetid and sticky. As you reach where you know the sunken fins ought to lie, the high, marshy moors give way to a strange, sunken land. There are tangles of brown briars and withered oaks that take the place of marsh grasses and tall pines. Foul black mud sucks at your boots with every step. The formerly chill air of the morning is warmer here, like the breath of a great beast exhaling rot upon the land. The only noises that you hear are the burble of sulphurous hot springs and the clatter of dead branches in a baleful wind. I will need someone to roll me a 1d5.
Five.
Okay, you guys, with that roll, are going to have an encounter. So now please roll a 1d7.
You got that, Tony? Or
5.
another 5?
5 again. Okay, Give me a moment to get the board out.
I was rolling as well, and you'll never guess what number I got.
Was it 5?
5.
It was 5.
And I rolled 2 3s. So
All right. So, you walk past hot mud springs. They sneak up on you because the ground is so wet and swampy that they are indistinguishable from the rest of the earth around you. But these springs start hissing and erupting, spattering you with scalding mud. I will need all 6 of you to take a reflex save, please.
okay. Rory has a 15, Kebinal an 8.
Okay. Kebinal is going to take 1 damage from the burns. What about Justin and Sargento?
Justin has a 17, and Sargento has a 13.
They are both able to dodge out of the mud. What about 82 and Bimibik?
Gimenez gets a 19.
Okay.
Or actually, dirty 20. And a D2 gets a 13. But there's something here about something about a plus versus to escape a trap. Does that come into play here or no?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't matter, though. You've already rolled high enough. So, yeah, most of you are able to dodge out of the way of the mud. But not Kebinal, who gets burned by it. But he seems like he'll probably be okay at some point. Assuming he doesn't get killed by the beast or some other danger, he'll make it back to his lady love in time for the wedding. Yeah, you after continuing to explore the fens for some time, at last you have reached the heart of the foul fens. Any hint of the sun is lost in the boundless gray mists. There's a heavy oppression hanging in the air with the stench of burbling sulfur springs. The whole swamp seems to drain down to this point. It's like a ominous sinkhole obscured by billowing clouds of black miasma. Surely this foul place is the lair of the beast terrorizing Hirot. The mouth of the sinkhole is 20 feet across, but looking down into it, you can see that it opens into a larger cavern below. The swamp water trickles in streams over the lip of the sinkhole, falling deep into the blackness, 75 feet down.
I probably can't make that.
What, just free jumping?
Yeah.
You
Just a
probably
base
can't.
jump.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Do have some rope. Rory has rope.
Are you going to try and rappel?
It's only 50 feet worth.
Well, plus the rope I gave you from the tying the prisoner to the sacrificial altar. We were going to use it to climb the palisade, but we didn't need it.
Yeah, so you have a little extra, and that should be enough to get to the bottom if you tie it all together. Sorry, just a moment. I'm not finding the right piece.
I knew that extra was handy.
Well, lucky you, knowing that in an adventure game one should pick up everything that's not nailed down.
But let's not forget that Sargento took that hat.
Yeah, and don't think that nobody noticed the hat looked familiar.
Part of the angry stares, like, why is he wearing Cousin Joe's hat?
Cousin Joe. Yeah, you know what? That's his name for sure. He's not even anyone's cousin. He's just named Cousin Joe. All right, gang. Sorry for the noise. I had to find the right thing here. You have dropped. I assume you are all repelling. Who is not going? Let's ask that.
Yeah, everybody's going on.
Okay. Well, in that case, who's going first?
Rory's happy to go first. She's all right with that.
Okay. Let's have Rory make a climb check. So that'll be whatever we're calling dexterity in this game. Agility, yes.
And that's untrained for her. Yes, probably
Yeah.
not her strong suit.
What has she done?
She rolled a 9.
Okay. Let's have a quick reflex save to see if she falls or not.
7.
All right. Yeah, she saves herself with the lip of the thing and is able to get to the bottom okay by just sliding down the rope. I'm going to go ahead and skip the rolls for everyone else now that the rope has been secured at the top and bottom. So you're all able pretty simply to get down the rope. Inside the cavern that's underneath this sinkhole, you guys are showered with foul swamp water the whole way down. It's pouring into the hole on every side. There are billowing black clouds obscuring sight into the pit from above, and as you touch those clouds on the way down, they leave like a slick, oily residue on your skin. You finally spy the floor of the cave through the thick, noxious clouds. The slick, rocky floor slopes towards an inky black pool in the center of the cavern. The shore surrounding the pool is littered with shattered bones, bits of rusted metal, and broken weapons. Cascading swamp water courses down on you from above, while the hot, stinking fumes rise from below. So let me turn on my little camera here. This is our cave. We'll have Rory here, and everyone else comes down after her. So there you are. So the liquid in the center of this pool, though it looks like water on my terrain here, it's actually something else. It's boiling, it's black, it reflects no light, and you can only tell it's there by how it obscures what's under it. It looks viscous as it bubbles up, None of you have touched it yet. But yeah, you see very little else in the place. Like I said, there are sort of bits of metal weapons, bones, all over the floor. You don't see the hound anywhere.
I will have Benedict pick up a rusted weapon and stir the liquid.
Well, it's very thick. It doesn't stir easy. It's like sticky oatmeal or something as you stir it. More like tar, I suppose. And as you stir it with this weapon's haft, the wooden haft of this weapon, it begins to smoke. There's smoke coming off the wood. Clearly, this liquid is hot enough to burn.
Rory will look about, see if there are any beast footprints anywhere.
Yeah, let me have a check from you for that. We'll call that an intelligence check to look around.
Trained or untrained?
What was her profession?
Gypsy.
Trained.
Thank you. Just not agreeing with me here. An 11.
She's not able to see anything of interest. There are depressions in the mud, but if they are footprints of a beast, it is no natural beast. They are not shaped like anything she would recognize as footprints.
Aditu would like to give that a go as well.
All right, go ahead. Intelligence check. D2 is definitely trained.
And then did that. Trained. That is a 12.
Still nothing. There's enough from the bones littered about that ED2 suspects you are indeed in the right place. And of course, having seen the creature once with your own eyes, you recognize that this boiling liquid in the pool resembles the substance that the creature seemed to be made of. So none of you really have any question about whether you're in the lair. You were, of course, told by Ime that the beast doesn't reform until nighttime. It is still late afternoon.
So we could kind of set a trap with the rope that we have. Maybe this pool is where it forms out of. And if we just can find a way to secure the rope down, maybe we can kind of tie it up before it even is able to fully form.
I'm also willing to try that, but I'm thinking maybe the people with the highest strength should be ready to jump on it when it reforms.
Who's got high strength scores?
Benedict's got a 14.
So does Sargento.
Anybody else up there?
Rory's got a 12. That's
The hell of a halfling.
yeah.
Okay. So, you said trap. Are you planning to use the manacles as a trap somehow?
Yeah, I'm wondering if there's a way to kind of secure the manacles so that if this is where the beast reforms from, then it would kind of form into the manacles.
If indeed this is where the beast is going to reform, you have no way of knowing where in the room exactly it will be, if it will come out of the pool, or if it will be somewhere else. Even if it does come right out of the pool, the shore of the pool is quite the perimeter, so putting the shackles in a spot where the beast is going to just form inside them doesn't seem feasible.
So we'll just wait till nightfall. Y'all jump it.
I think that's the best plan that has a chance of working. I mean, I kind of liked the trap idea, but yeah, the holes that were knocked in it were quite large.
Is this the same stuff that burned Kevin all when we first got to the area? Is it similar? Like if it's causing our...
No, that was mundane mud from a hot spring.
Can we
But
light this?
yeah, you said that this was kind of like burning through a rusty weapon that we tried to stir it with, right?
Well, we did say rusty weapon. I imagine the haft of a spear, which would be made of wood. So, yes, there was smoke rising off the wood when you put it into the muck here. It's definitely hot.
Do we know if the muck is flammable?
That's what I was thinking. Can we light it on fire?
Does anyone have flint and tinder?
I have flint and steel, so I could spark it.
Do that.
Kaboom! You're all dead.
Good night, everyone. No, it does not. It does not ignite.
What if I rolled a 20? Does it ignite now?
No, but you're free to light something else on fire if you want.
I mean, I'm fine with waiting. It seems like all of our ideas are a bust.
Yeah, I guess you guys are just gonna wait then. It's not too long. You guys have a chance to rest for a minute. Obviously, your nerves are upon you, this being the beast's lair, but you believe, and you seem to be proven correct, that you are at least safe during the day. But eventually dusk does come, and you all have a moment of warning as the boiling in the pool ceases. And the hound begins to form from the liquid of the pool, dripping blackness everywhere that it travels. It sees you in its lair. It's gonna step off of the pool on that side. It sees you in its lair, and it will attack. So we will need initiative rolls from everyone.
Nope.
Adi2 gets a 10. Benedict gets an 8.
Kebinal's a 9, and Ferrari's a 4.
I got 2 17s.
Hey.
Sorry, my pin is crapping out on me. Adi2 got a 10, and Bimibik got an 8,
Correct.
and Kebinal got a 9, and Ferrari got a 4.
Correct.
And Matt got twin 17s.
Yeah, that part I remembered. Okay. Which of your characters has the higher initiative modifier, Matt?
Sargento.
Okay, so he'll go first. And then Justin. But when I say first, I mean first of those two, because the Hound outscored you all. And it's coming for Bimibik. It lashes out at you with its ferocious teeth and claws and crit fails. Boy, this Hound is having terrible rolls today.
Thank you.
I think it's a level 0 adventure for the Hound.
Yeah, you're right. You are right. Okay, it's going to roll. Nope, wrong die. There we go. You know what? Some of its teeth come out and dissipate into mist, and because of that, it's going to take a -2 to its next attack. So, that was the Hound. Sargento, your move.
All right, so just for fun, I'm going to declare myself doing a mighty deed.
Uh-oh. What kind of mighty deed?
I think I'm going to I think I'm going to attack with my sword and just kind of like stick it in enough so that I can vault up over it and kind of like mount it in an effort to pin it down and keep it from moving too much so that we can shackle it.
Okay, so the mighty deed, if I remember correctly, I don't have it open in front of me. The mighty deed will work if you roll a 3 on a d3. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so roll your mighty deed first.
So my mighty deed is a 3.
All right, roll your attack.
My attack will probably miss. My attack is an 11, which I'm pretty sure missed last time.
Yeah, you are correct. You have missed, and therefore the mighty deed has failed. But it was a cool idea. Obviously, you will have come over here in order to attack the beast. Justin? Here's Justin.
Justin is, let's see. Justin is going to attempt paralysis.
Okay,
on the
roll a
beast.
spell check.
My rolls are over. Let's see.
It's 1d20 plus 2 for you.
So that is a 10.
You have failed. Doesn't work. All right. You wave your arms and pray to Justicia, but it is futile. Clearly the evil of this creature in this place are interfering with Justicia's ability to hear you. 82, you are up. nears you.
Wrong page again. This is gonna be risky, but no risk, no reward, right?
It is combat.
All right, a D2 will run up on it,
Whoops.
preferably from the back.
What's her speed?
Her speed should be 30.
I don't think that's enough for her to get around the whole pool and to the creature. Actually, it is. Okay. So she does that. She can get her behind it if she goes around the pool.
Okay. She is going to cast Chill Touch.
Okay. Give me your spell check on that.
And that's a +2, yes?
It is... I don't recall for Elf what the spellcasting modifier is. Your spellcasting level will be 1, but there's another number as well, which might be... It's intelligence for wizards and personality for clerics. I'm not sure what it is for elves.
I think it is intelligence as well.
All right, we'll go with that. So it's the roll plus intelligence plus 1.
So +3.
Okay.
15.
Nice. Okay, and give me a 1d4 for the manifestation, please.
D4. 2.
All right, so 82 runs up to this thing, and as her hands turn black, she places them on the creature's body. They are charged with negative energy. On the next round, you're going to receive +2 to attack rolls, and the creature is going to take an additional 1d6 damage from your attack. So that will all happen next round. This round, it doesn't damage the creature, but it's going to give you bonuses next round.
Okay.
So for those of you watching who aren't familiar with this game, the higher the number you roll on your spellcasting check, the better the effect from your spell. Obviously, as we've seen tonight, it's possible to fail to cast the spell entirely, but if you roll high enough, you can get some pretty crazy things. You actually rolled, if you'd gotten 11 or lower, you would have failed. 12 to 13 was the lowest possible success, but with a 15, you were a level above that. So that was pretty good. Pretty good for a level 1. So that was your turn. You're going to get some bonuses next turn. It'll be +2 to your attack and an extra 1d6 if you hit. So now it is Kebinal's turn. He's over here being a wizard.
Having lost some confidence in his spellcasting ability, he will use his short bow.
Okay.
for fire.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
He's not got a lot of offensive spells to begin with, but here we go. It's a 5. Gracious.
It's a 5.
Yes.
Yeah. The arrow goes wide, very wide. Is he gonna move? He has the opportunity to move as well.
Have him move behind, is that Benedict there with a white base? Yeah, here we go.
It is done. Now it's Benedict's turn, and he's already adjacent to the creature because it attacked him first.
original plan was to jump it and grapple it, I suppose. Who's got the manacles?
Oh, I'll assume that's Kebanal since he's the betrothed.
Okay. Can I shield bash and then grapple, or would just grapple be the whole action?
Grapple would be the whole action.
So let's do that.
All right.
What do I need to roll?
It will be an. Let me double check. It's a opposed strength, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, opposed strength. I have dropped pin.
All right.
What have you got?
Well, I got a 1 modifier. Doesn't really help a nat 1 though.
Yeesh.
You're correct. It doesn't. The beast easily throws your arms off of its body. Is Bimibik going to stay right there? At this point, he can't do anything but move or stay where he is.
And he can't shield bash.
He cannot unless. I think the last time I let you do it as a corollary to your attack action, which I don't know if I was supposed to. I don't remember that part.
I was looking at the dwarf thing, and it says they always get that.
Okay, let me double check the. I would
fighting with a shield. Dwarf always gets a shield bash as a second attack.
Okay, so that sounds fairly open to interpretation, but since it does say second attack, and you didn't exactly attack, well, I don't know, does a grapple count as an attack? I think. I'm going to go ahead and use the common sense of fight scenes that's going on in my head right now and say that trying to grapple something and failing does not leave you in a position to quickly hit it with your shield.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah. So there we go on that. Rory, you are last in initiative, and it's your turn. This little yellow-haired one is her.
Can she get into a position to do a backstab on it?
Actually, maybe if she's willing to get right on the edge of the pool, she can do that.
She will risk that.
Okay. So far, I think
And-
no one has dealt damage to the hound.
All right, let me get this sorted out. One moment. Apologize for the delay on that. All right, here we go. First attempt is an 8.
It's a miss.
First weapon, and the second is a 15
That's a hit.
for 6 points.
Okay. So you cut into it with one of your daggers, and some inky black blood spills out over its inky black skin. You can barely see it, but you know what you did. And now it is the hound's turn again. He's going to actually turn on Rory now because of the injury. And in retaliation, it will bite you for 11 to hit.
1 sec. AC 12.
Okay, it bounces off of your armor. Are you wearing armor, or do you just duck it? I don't know. Either way, it misses you.
Got leather on, yeah.
Okay. So that's going to be the only thing it can do, except for move. Oh no! In its layer, it has more actions. I should have gone 3 times last turn. So it will go ahead and attack Bimibik as well. This time it's definitely going to hit. It's 21 with its claw.
Yeah, that beats his 15 armor class.
Okay. And the damage is not going to be that much. 2 damage. As it slashes him with its claw. It will turn also now to Sargento the Second for its 3rd and final attack, which is a crit.
Ouch.
Poor Sargento 2. Wanted to be hero like his namesake. We can't all be heroes, Sargento. I mean, Scott.
Whoa.
Okay. I don't even know if I'm supposed to use crit tables for the monsters, but that's what I'm doing.
Because it makes it more interesting, right?
Yeah, so it got you in the kneecap. It's going to do an extra 1d4 damage with the strike, and you're going to take a -10 penalty to speed until you are healed.
Lord.
So the base damage is 2, and the extra damage is 1. 3 total. And with that, it will move. Its speed is 30. And basically that. All right. That is the Hound's turn. Sargento the Second is next.
So I take a -10 to my speed.
Correct.
Let's see. What can he do?
While Sargento's pondering that, we are at 11:30 here, my time, guys. This is our normal ending time. Is everyone okay with finishing this combat before we end for the night?
Yeah.
This is our normal stop time, but we're kind of in the middle of something here. All
So
right.
Sargento can't do much. He won't be able to make it almost anywhere.
Well, his normal speed is 30, right?
Well, yeah, but with his armor, it's 20, and then you have it by another 10.
So he could get to there.
Yeah, he just won't be able to do anything from there either. So he's just gonna hunker down.
All right. He's hunkered. How about Justin? It's his turn next.
So
He's back here.
Justin,
That's Justin.
Justin is going to move as close as he can, and he's going to try this paralysis again.
This is the easiest way to get a clear shot. We'll assume that he didn't walk over the pool, like there.
So here goes nothing.
It's something. It's something. Don't say that.
It is a 14.
That's going to be a success. I know that without even looking, because they all fail at 11 or lower. What's the spell? Paralysis?
Paralysis.
Okay, roll me a d4 for the manifestation, please.
A 3.
A 3, so Justin prays to Justicia, raises his hands, and a white pallor glows from everything in his hands, his armor, his weapons. They are charged with the energy of paralysis. The charge is going to remain for 1d4 plus your cleric level in rounds. Please roll a 1d4.
It is a 4, which is a 5.
Correct. So for the next 5 rounds, any creature that you hit will deal its normal damage plus paralysis if it fails a will save. The will save will be against 14 because that was your spell check. The paralyzed creature will be unable to move if it fails that check for 1d6 plus 1 rounds. All right. Well done, Justin. Hopefully you can land a hit within the next 5 rounds. AD2, you're up.
Okay, and I had a +2 to physical attacks or all my magical attacks as well?
Well, I'm sorry. Remind me what that was from. It was from the spell you landed, right?
Yeah. Got a
Yeah,
+2 and a 1d6 damage on that.
I believe it applies to anything where you do an attack roll.
Okay.
So depending on the spell.
Let's move her down here next to the cleric, and she's going to cast Magic Missile again.
Did that d6 go off as well automatically, or?
She gets an extra 1d6 if she hits.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so d20.
Yeah.
+3. 13.
That's going to be a success, but I have to look up to see what it is. Magic Missile. Spider Web. That's a spell. Knock is a spell. Invisibility. Forget. Magic Missile. Okay. Can you do a D10 for the manifestation?
Two.
Okay, it'll be a flaming arrow this time, and you said 13 for the spellcasting roll, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you're going to throw a single missile that's going to do 1 point of damage. You must have
Plus a
line of sight.
d6.
Yeah, plus the d6, correct.
Okay, so let's roll that d6. And that's a 2.
Okay, so total of 3 points. It's going to hit for sure. So your flaming arrow comes flaming out of your flaming hand, and it burns this creature. But not enough to really slow it down, unfortunately. Cabanal, you are up. You're still here.
And it is currently paralyzed, or does that start next round?
It doesn't get paralyzed unless Justin can hit it with an attack now that he's got paralysis energy in his weapons, but he needs to hit the creature first.
Okay. Cabanal will fire another short bow at it.
Okay.
That's a miss.
Okay.
6 total.
Yeah, you were right. Any movement?
I'll move a little closer in preparation to get those binders on it if the opportunity presents itself. About half that far. Yeah. Not too close.
Okay. We've got Bimmy Bick. Here's you.
I will rush my 15 feet towards it.
That'll put you about even with Cabanal. Anything else?
Not really. Not from him.
Ferrari, you're next. You're teetering on the edge of the pool there.
Don't suppose she can get to the creature? Maybe.
With
Again,
20
base.
feet,
Yeah, base 20.
she can get to like there.
And can she throw?
Which is 10 feet from the creature.
From there, like throw one of her daggers?
Sure.
$11.
That is a miss. The dagger hits the ground beneath the creature's feet. I assume that you cannot do 2 attacks when you're throwing like that.
No. Yeah, strictly.
All right. Well, the hound did not like the magic missile. So it is going to come for 82. It's now been hit by magic missiles twice. How about 11 to hit?
That's a negative, boss.
Okay, the next attack will also be for 82, and this one's a 21.
That'll hit.
Okay, this is a bite, so it's going to be 1d8.
Ouch.
It'll be 3 damage on that, and then the third attack is a claw. That's also going to hit. It's 20, and that will be lower damage for 1. So 3 from the bite, 1 from the claw. And now
All right.
it's Sargento the second.
Sargento, I guess, will move his 10 feet to be closer to Kebinal and Benebek.
Well, there you go. How about
That's
Justin?
about all he can do. So Justin is going to move towards the creature,
Justin can indeed reach it.
and he has a mace.
Okay.
He's going to try to give it a good whack. Does a 12 hit?
It does not.
Gosh darn it.
That's 1 round.
How do you say? Can Rory give him 1 point of luck to add to that? Would that hit?
No, it wouldn't.
Okay, never mind.
Okay, so 82, you're up.
She will hit it with the longsword.
Okay.
What is her? Not seeing any attack modifiers. Oh, okay. All right. Mithril Longsword deals 19 minus 1, so an 18 to hit.
That is a hit.
D8, D8, D8. Five minus 1, so 4 damage.
Okay, you have harmed it. Kebinal.
If he can get an arrow, he tries again, but it's an 8.
He misses. How does he want to move or stay where he is?
Move past Ferrari so that so he can get a clean shot. So he's moved just a little in front. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Bimmy Bick.
We'll waddle 15 feet closer. And
About that.
He doesn't have anything ranged, so that's his turn.
Okay, Ferrari's up.
With her one remaining dagger, she will run over to the beast and try and backstab it again if its back is turned.
She can just reach the back of the beast.
And that is an 18.
That is a hit.
And backstabbing is a D10 for 8.
Okay, wow. That's a serious damage load. It's still up, though. And it is the hound's turn. It's still less concerned with you right now than it is with 82. It's going to bite for 82 for 16 to hit.
That'll hit.
6 damage.
She's down.
No, screams everyone. It will next bite at Justin for 11 to hit.
That is a miss.
And Justin again for 12.
Also a miss.
Okay, it's
That's what it feels like.
It's Sargento's turn.
Just move him 10 feet.
Oh boy. My buddy made these big cave tiles, and their surface is just so uneven. I mean, I didn't have to make them, so beggars can't be choosers. But the minis have a hard time sometimes. All right, that's Sargento. Justin's up.
So Justin's gonna go again with his paralysis mace.
Do it.
And he gets a 15.
That is just enough. You have hit him. He's paralyzed, and how much damage does he take?
He takes 1 point of damage.
Well,
all right.
at
Well,
least he's paralyzed.
Okay. So it being late, we're gonna assume that you guys are capable of butchering a paralyzed creature.
Well, we put the manacles on it. We want to rip
Yes,
it up.
Cabanal is right here. He has the manacles. Now that he's paralyzed, it is a simple manner to get the manacles onto him and then cut his damn head off. You have
Coup de grace, baby.
Yeah, you have unfortunately lost 82, whose name I just realized sounds like a number. The beast is gone. You have destroyed it. In the rubble around the place, all the debris of former adventurers, you find, let's roll it, this and this. You find 69 bits of gold and silver jewelry, each worth 1d5 gold pieces. So let's roll that. 2. So they're each worth 2 gold pieces, and there are 69 of them, so it's 138 gold. You find a small bronze buckler. If you polish it, it will be a +1 shield, and its small size will allow the wielder to dual wield with it. You find a ceremonial blade inlaid with silver worth 15 gold. Does 1d5 damage. A great helm sculpted in the shape of a dragon, which gives a -1 penalty on morale check of foes who have 3 hit dice or less. And a great bronze torque decorated with gold wire worth 35 gold pieces. I read all that, even though we're done with this, because maybe someday we'll come back for a sequel. So you find some loot here. You have the undying gratitude of the people in the village, especially of Morgan and her father. Not so much Farmer Jeb's family. They don't like you guys, especially once Morgan appears not dead. Everyone knows that she's the reason that the hound attacked in the village, and that you're the reason that she was free. So Farmer Jeb's family, not too happy with you. Everyone else friggin' loves you. Even the Jarl is forced to admit that you helped out quite a bit, and each of you is given an additional 100 gold pieces by the Jarl, who wishes to appear magnanimous in the face of you saving everyone. Well done.
We attend Kevinall's wedding.
Ah, yes, you don't actually. Here's what happens. Kebanal, are you going to go back and marry the witch? Because so far you haven't said you are.
He's afraid that if he does not follow through, that, something bad will happen regardless. So,
All right, well, here's what happens. When you get to the widow's hovel, she is now no longer an old, maybe hideous crone. She is young and lovely and bedecked with flowers, waiting at the door. Next to her stands her dead husband. He is composed of fire and darkness, and he jealously bids you to be gone. The widow wistfully kisses you goodbye and presents you with a parting wedding present, which is a shirt of golden mail woven from the threads of flame. This is fine enough to be worn underneath common clothes, but it will not fit under armor. And it serves as +1 chainmail and grants you +2 to saving throws against cold-based effects. So, you don't need to write that down. It's on the recording. We'll definitely watch this if we ever come back. But yeah, she gives you a fire chainmail shirt to thank you for a wedding that she is not going to hold you to. And you guys have won in every way, except that there's now only 5 of you.
Oh.
Did 82's body stay in the pit, or did you guys somehow climb it up the rope out of the lair?
Yes, Sargento climbed it up the rope.
Okay. Sargento died in the attempt. That's a joke. All right, guys. Well,
Sargento doesn't find it funny.
the funnel, the 0-level funnel, killed 18 PCs for an 18-person TPK. We only lost 1, and it was in the final moments of the battle tonight, so that was good. I almost feel bad making you play double characters. This might have been okay for just 3 of you. But, yeah, I liked this game. This is the first game other than D&D that I've wanted to really do like an ongoing campaign in. I hope to do that someday, but next week we're back with Monster of the Week, GM'd by Jason, and Matt's playing in that, Jen is playing in that, and my wife Sarah and myself will be playing. So we will see everyone then, and yeah, thanks for watching.